Good evening, folks, and thank you for joining me at this hour now. This evening's top stories, we are reporting some updates about COVID 19. Yesterday's news, there are 15 confirmed cases in the US by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This patient was a JBSA Lackland military base in San Antonio, Texas, where 91 evacuees from Wuhan, China have been in mandatory quarantine since they left China for the US on February 6th. This is the first person under quarantine at the base who has been tested positively for the virus.
We've had a very aggressive approach to try to do early case identification and then isolation and contact tracing. That's enabled us to contain this at this point, but I think this virus is probably with us beyond this season or beyond this year, and I think eventually the virus will find a foothold and we will get community-based transmission, and you can start to think of it in a sense like seasonal flu. The only difference is we don't understand this virus. At least seasonal flu, we pretty much understand how it acts. For us, we believe our containment strategies now are the best strategy, and we're going to be aggressive and multi-layered on them, and we're going to look very aggressively now and intensifying our community surveillance to be able to answer that question you ask, are there other cases out there that we somehow missed, and really concentrate on areas we think would be highest risk because of the travel routes from China, and then do that as we speak. We hopefully will have that beginning next week, and then expand it even broader to maybe trying to include it into our flu surveillance system, so everyone's getting evaluated for flu gets evaluated for this until we get a better handle on it. That's how we're thinking right now.
Singapore has confirmed that there are 9 new cases throughout the country. Of them, 6 are linked to a cluster from the Grace Assembly of God Church. 2 more patients, case 30 and 45, have been discharged from the hospital on Friday, meaning 17 people have now fully recovered from the disease. Case 30 is a 27-year-old man who attended a private business meeting at Grand Hyatt Singapore, while case 45 is a 2-year-old girl who was with the 92 Singaporeans evacuated from Wuhan on January 30th. In total, there are 1,523 deaths with an additional 143, while there are 66,492 cases reported within China. In today's news, France has reported its first death of COVID-19 on Saturday. The victim was an 80-year-old Chinese tourist whose daughter had been receiving treatment at Paris's Bichat Hospital since January 25th. However, the daughter's health concern is not the case of the concern. Both victims were from Hubei. This is the first death of the virus reported outside of China. WHO in a statement said that while the spread of the virus still increases slowly, countries are developing vaccines to try and stop the disease.
Our greatest fear remains the damage this coronavirus could do in a country like DRC. Even as the flames of one outbreak begin to die down, we're fighting another fire front. As of 6 a.m. Geneva time this morning, there are 44,730 cases of COVID-19 in China, with 1,114 deaths. Outside China, there are 441 cases from 24 countries and 1 death.
Elderly Quebecers are tested positively for the new virus. The victims are Diane, 73, and Bernard Menard, 75, who are confined to their cabin and are waiting for the ambulance to be transported to a military hospital where they will be kept in isolation until they are no longer tested positive for the virus. Menard and her parents were on their last day of their month-long tour of Asia until they discovered the boat had cases. They are the couple's 67 positive cases of the COVID-19 virus on the Diamond Princess cruise ship.
Also, on the Diamond Princess, we now know that we have 12 Canadians which have been infected by the coronavirus. They are currently in Japanese medical facilities. As you know, I spoke with the Japanese Foreign Minister yesterday. We are very much following that. We have sent teams in Yokohama to obviously provide all the consular assistance that we can. We know that there's a number of families which are asking questions, and we have also sent public health officials to Tokyo, 3 people from the Canadian Public Health Agency to provide contacts with the Japanese authorities. And we have also sent 2 medical personnel from the Canadian Armed Forces to provide all the scope of knowledge that we need. We are obviously following with the Japanese authority. We understand that they will allow some people, elderly people, to do part of the quarantine on shore. We're talking to them about the type of facilities and how the transfer would be ongoing. With respect to the Western Dam, which is, for those watching at home, which is the other ship on the coast of Sihanoukville in Cambodia, we understand that the disembarkation is currently on the way. We have consular officials present to make sure that all the Canadians on board could be obviously making their journey back to Canada.
In total, there are 1,527 people that have died, with an additional 143, while there are 67,079 cases, along with 63,866 in China. WHO will go on a mission to China to start investigating the COVID-19 outbreak. And that's it for this evening's news, folks. I'm Ethan Chen, host of CBTN News, and we hope to see you again. Tune in tomorrow for more live updates. Good night.